Well, welcome. Thank you all for coming into this wonderful Park Heights Renaissance facility, Towanda Rec Center. We're so excited that everyone joined us here this afternoon for this really exciting announcement. My name is Donna Ratley Washington, and I'm the Regional Vice President of Government Affairs and Community Investment. And I'm really excited to be here today to announce our first ever Internet Essentials Learning Zone in the state of Maryland. I'd like to first thank Chio Hurley and his staff at the Park Heights Renaissance Center for hosting us here today. And thank you, Chio. And students, all of our wonderful students from Creative City Charter School, thank you. And their principal, Tracy Mathena, thank you for joining us here today for this special announcement. I'd also like to thank all of our state and local officials who have joined us here today. I also want to take a moment to thank all of our community partners, especially our Internet Essential Learning Zone partners. The work we're doing here and what we're here to celebrate and launch is to attack the digital divide. And that work cannot be done alone. Even David Cohen cannot do this work alone. Even our mayor cannot do this work alone, or our community partners. It really takes all of us working together, and that's what this initiative is all about. I'd also like to thank Brad Palazzo and Antoine Banks, who worked tirelessly on these many partnerships and getting everyone here together. I'd like to recognize some of our guests who understand the importance of connected communities and who work hard every day to make sure that you, our students, and your families have access to the power of the internet in your schools, in your after-school activities, and in your home, and the educational environment to really maximize these tools. So I'd love to recognize the Mayor, Honorable Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, Dr. Gregory Thornton, CEO, Baltimore City Public Schools, Chio Hurley, Executive Director, Park Heights Renaissance, Julia Baez, Senior Director, Strategic Initiatives, Family League, David L. Cohen, Executive Vice President, Comcast Corporation, Mary McLaughlin, our new Regional Vice President, and yes, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. So, we're here today, and we're so excited to celebrate, our 5th year of Internet Essentials, which offers families the internet access at a reduced cost in their home, access to an affordable computer, as well as access to online, in-person training, which we partner with. I know some of you have asked. We partner with Enoch Pratt Free Library here. They are our main training partner in the city, and so we sponsor over 60 trainings at that facility for this year alone. So, but the main reason we're here today really is to celebrate the launch of Maryland's first Internet Essentials Learning Zone. My colleague David Cohen will share more about the program with you in a few minutes. But it's my personal privilege to report that to date, since we launched this program, over 48,580 Marylanders have access to the internet in their home because of Internet Essentials. So we're proud of that. So I'd like to first bring up our first speaker, Chio Hurley, Executive Director, Park Heights Renaissance. Thank you, Chio.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Chio Hurley, Executive Director of Park Heights Renaissance, and I thank you all for coming to the Towanda Rec Center today. Park Heights Renaissance helps to oversee this rec center in partnership with the City of Baltimore, but more importantly, we work with our community partners, the Boys and Girls Club, where you can, Ken's here somewhere, Ken Darden, Boys and Girls Club, our friends at Creative City Charter Schools, and most recently our friends at the Safe Streets program. Park Heights Renaissance is here to help institute the master plan for Park Heights to make our community safe, make sure all of our children are well educated, make sure it's clean and green, and most importantly, create great inclusionary housing throughout the community. We have a community of almost 30,000 people with different age groups, incomes, but one thing in common. We all have phones, we all have devices, we all have internet, we all have computers. And this program, this Internet Essentials program, is going to really help bridge the gap here at this center and help our young people, all these young people right here, to learn better at Creative City. Help our guys who are in the Safe Streets program get off the streets and have something productive to do in the evenings. So we really, really thank Comcast for coming out today. Most importantly, I want to thank our mayor, Stephanie Rawlings-Blake. She has been a true partner for Park Heights. You've been here about 3 times this month, I've seen you. She's here in our community working hard. I'd like to thank Sharon Green Middleton. I'd like to thank Mr. Mosby. I'd like to thank our state delegate here. Please forgive me, I am blanking, but my delegate, you will kill me. Delegate Robinson, I'm so sorry, my wife is going to die. Delegate Robinson, she has been a true champion for our community. And all the other state delegates and local politicians who have helped us. We're all in partnership here in Park Heights. We're all trying to make this community better, and we will. We will succeed with partners like Comcast, with the city, all of us. I thank you, Dr. Thornton, Julia, everyone. Thank you for coming out today, and let's enjoy the program. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Gregory Thornton, Chief Executive Officer, Baltimore Public Schools. Dr. Thornton came to Baltimore City from Milwaukee Public School System, where he served as superintendent from July 2010 until June 2014. But that wasn't his first time at the rodeo. He has held leadership positions around the country. He was born and raised in Philadelphia boy, and attended Philadelphia Public Schools and then Temple University. In 1997, Dr. Thornton moved into district-level administration and really began his trajectory to district-wide leadership. He served as Chief Academic Officer for the Philadelphia Public School System from 2004 to 2007, overseeing all facets of instructional, school management, accountability, policy, and compliance programs. From the very first time that I and my team met with Dr. Thornton, it was a sea change. He understood immediately the power of technology and what it could do to transform the educational experience for kids and their families. So we have a true partner, and we are thrilled that the mayor brought Dr. Thornton to us. So, Dr. Thornton.
Well, good afternoon. It's certainly a pleasure to be in Park Heights today. You know, it may be raining outside, but the sun is certainly shining on our children and certainly shining on the future of this community and many more communities to come. You know, it's wonderful when we come together, and this is what you're seeing today. You see many facets of city government, public schools, private partnerships coming together to hopefully change the trajectory of our young people, because we know, given the tools, they can do the work, right? I know they can do the work. But I will tell you, access to broadband technology is essential in this digital world we live in. And one of the divides we have is a group of young people that don't have access. And I know we have smartphones, and all of us probably could pull them out. But I don't know if you ever tried to do a term paper on a smartphone, or you tried to do some research on a smartphone. It certainly doesn't work. We're in a very enviable position. And that enviable position is because a group of city leaders came together along with the school district to move a dynamic program forward called Community Eligibility for Free and Reduced Lunch. And know what that means? I know the mayor knows, because once it was announced, she said, my daughter's in. That means that every youngster in Baltimore City is eligible for the program. So folks, I'm here to say we don't have any more excuses. We have to get involved and certainly do the work. As we continue to do this work, we believe that many of the challenges our kids face, the gaps and all those kinds of things, this is a gap-busting activity that certainly allows that to happen. As we continue to move forward, I'm moving with a great deal of confidence that not only this center, but centers like this around the city are going to be the lighthouses of our community, where everything is driven through, and this becomes the place where information is sought. You know, sometimes we struggle with not having the right information and having access to the information. Well, I'm here to tell you the excuses have gone away. And they've gone away because of certainly folks like Comcast. Comcast says it wasn't acceptable. And David, I'd like to thank you and the Comcast entire family, the corporate structure, because you guys were bold. You not only were bold, you stood up and you spoke out and said, we're going to make a difference in communities. And so, my fellow Philadelphian, it's good to have you in Charm City. But I'm more impressed at what you brought to our children. So I get to say on behalf of the kids, from the bottom of all their hearts, right? Young people, raise your hand. All my young people, raise your hand. Some of you are not that young. Put your hand down. I'm talking about the young people. Raise your hand. So certainly Comcast, thank you for the work. But we could not be here if it wasn't for the mayor. And Mayor, I thank you for your forcefulness and perseverance in moving forward. And I know the Family League has had a nickel in this quarter. So I thank you for the work. But I'm more excited where our kids will go. There's a book by Dr. Zeus. Anybody ever read Dr. Zeus's book, Oh, the Places We'll Go? I'm going to tell you, it's going to be very difficult to go anywhere in this world if we don't bridge that digital divide and create access for our children. So, oh, the places your children will go. Thank you so much on behalf of our children.
Thank you, Dr. Thornton. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Julia Baez, Senior Director of Strategic Initiatives, Family League of Baltimore City. Julia oversees the Family League's continuum of work for school-age youth and families in Baltimore. She came to the Family League in 2012 to lead the development and expansion of the Family League's largest initiative, the Community and School Engagement Strategy. But I personally want to offer express my thanks and gratitude for Julia and her entire team for the pivotal role that they have played in helping us identify the most effective partners around the city that can come together and work on this program. So thank you, Julia, and please come up.
Thank you, Donna. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me here this afternoon. This event really highlights what Family League is all about, creating access and opportunities in communities across Baltimore through partnering with community providers and all of the leaders here today. With primary funding support from Mayor Rawlings-Blake, Family League has the honor of facilitating Baltimore's Community School Initiative, which creates opportunity hubs in over 50 schools in Baltimore. It's those partnerships, as Donna mentioned, as well as the network created through Family League, all of our after-school providers, many of whom are here today, that brought us to the table with Comcast. We know for many families, the digital divide is a huge barrier to stability, economic growth, job readiness, and academic achievement. Community schools, like Comcast Essentials, identify and build on the assets in each community to reduce those barriers to success. The partnership with Comcast allowed us to work strategically to identify strong community partners, many of whom are here today, who are really committed to creating that pathway to success for our students and families. The internet provides access to a host of resources and knowledge that transforms lives. In our digital age, it is a vital educational component for students. How many of you guys have to do internet research? Anybody in the room? No, not yet? Okay. You will, it's coming. And that can be challenging, as Dr. Thornton said, without having access to a computer. I have not had to research on my phone, but I would imagine that's pretty hard. In addition, we know that for the most part, any sort of job application nowadays has to be done online at a computer. And so creating those access points is critical to reduce those barriers to success for our students and families in Baltimore. Family League is proud to continue to partner with Comcast. We're thankful for you all including us in this work, and we hope that we can expand this access across the city so all families have the opportunity to thrive. Thank you.
So now it's my honor to introduce our mayor, Stephanie Rawlings-Blake. Mayor Blake's dedication to children and their families has really been the hallmark of her service in government. She has focused her administration on growing Baltimore's population by 10,000 families over the next decade by improving public safety, public education, and strengthening city neighborhoods. The mayor is committed to Baltimore's digital future and to bridging the digital divide for low-income families throughout the city. She recognizes the impact of a program like Internet Essentials what this program can have to help families and parents find jobs, as Julia mentioned, access vital government information, help kids do their homework, help parents connect to their teachers. The mayor's participation in this event today is evidence of her support for these efforts and her commitment to do whatever her administration can do to attack the digital divide. It's now my great honor to introduce Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here with all of you. And I especially want to thank our young people here from the Creative City Public Charter School. And I want to thank you for your patience. You've done an amazing job today listening to all of these speeches. Can you give yourselves a big round of applause? That's the little girl's making it like this. She's like around. I like that. How many of you enjoyed working on the computers in the back? Not yet, but it's there for you, sweetie. I said, who's excited about being able to go on ABC Mouse? Anybody like that? No. What about PBS Kids? What about Disney Junior? Am I missing a good one? I do too. But let me tell you something. Do you know how you can go on PBS Kids and look at the shows and play the games? And that's really fun, right? When I was growing up, you know the only way I got to watch PBS Kids? I'd have to make sure I got home right after school and plop myself in front of the television. And if I missed it, it was over. There was no going on the internet and trying to catch it later. There was no games. That was it. A television. We got lucky. They got us a color television when I was like in middle school. Before it was our little black and white with the pliers to turn the channel. I'm just saying. So I want to thank all the kids for being here. David, thank you for being here representing Comcast. I love having you in Baltimore. It warms my heart to know your commitment to our city and to our young people. Cheo, thank you for the great partnership that you have had. And I want to thank you and Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton together. And I say that because we all know the challenges that we have in our city. We all know that we have neighborhoods that need support. We have families that need support, whether it's bridging the digital divide or providing affordable housing or after-school programs. But the sign of a true leader is doing something with that knowledge, picking up the baton, taking charge, and creating meaningful partnerships. And I have to give you credit, Councilwoman, because at every turn you've worked to build meaningful partnerships to help for progress. So thank you very much. So I am excited because Comcast is launching their first Internet Essential Learning Zone where? Right in the city of Baltimore. That's where the first should always be, and that's why we are here. So bringing together a network of partners, Internet Essentials Learning Zone provides for connectivity that begins in the classroom, community centers, computer labs, and after-school programs, then extends home. I appreciate Comcast for providing opportunities like this for Baltimore's families. Collaborations like this and this one between corporate citizens, the community, and the city are crucial to closing the digital divide and securing success for our city's digital future. I want to thank our digital, I know he has a real title, but I always call him our broadband czar, our city's broadband coordinator, Jason Harderbeck, for being here. He is working to expand broadband access across our city, and this is just a part of it. You know, the fact that we have Internet Essentials, and Dr. Thornton, I hope you understand what this community eligibility designation means. It means more than I get to get Internet Essentials. I'm going to just tell you. It means that across the city, every public school student qualifies for Internet Essentials. And that makes a big big difference. There is not a day that goes by that my daughter doesn't come home and have to use a computer in order to do her homework. And it pains me when I think about the young people who have that same homework and may not have a computer at home or internet access to be able to do their homework. There's no way that they won't be left behind. But because of the community eligibility and because of Internet Essentials, we're closing those gaps, and we're making a way for our young people to reach their highest and best potential. So then we can. So again, I want to thank Comcast for your commitment to Baltimore, and I want to thank you for listening to the feedback. This Internet Essentials program has evolved over the years, and it evolved over the years because you've listened to the feedback and you've expanded the program, changed the program, make it more accessible for Baltimore families. So again, thank you for your partnership. I'm so proud that Baltimore City is the first learning zone, and I can't wait to our next Comcast announcement because I know there's more great things coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, for those wonderful words. I'd now like to introduce David L. Cohen, Senior Executive Vice President, Comcast Corporation. David has a broad portfolio of responsibilities, including corporate communications, government and regulatory affairs, public affairs, legal affairs. Are you all taking note of this? Corporate administration and community investment. He also serves as senior counselor to our CEO of Comcast, as well as our chief diversity officer. Prior to joining Comcast, David had a distinguished legal career, but his passion for the challenges we all face at the local level really came from his days as chief of staff to former Philadelphia Mayor Ed Rendell, Philadelphia boy. So while David has left City Hall, he has not left behind his commitment to the local communities. David has been passionate about working together at the local level to make progress for those who are affected by the digital divide. David was a key architect in our company starting Internet Essentials 4 years ago, and the decision to continue Internet Essentials indefinitely after March of last year. Under David's leadership, the impact of Internet Essentials has grown exponentially and continues to expand and change as the mayor and evolve, as the mayor had mentioned. So, please welcome David L. Cohen.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and Mayor, it's great to be back in Baltimore. Always a pleasure. I think this is my third consecutive year in September, October, and it's really great to be here in your city, and we very much appreciate the relationship that we have with you. A lot of people have asked me here today, why are we doing this Internet Essentials Learning Zone in Baltimore? And I gave the honest answer, which is, it starts with your mayor. She is an extraordinary mayor, an extraordinary talent, and we're in a lot of cities, so I always have to be careful about this. But I will say, she is my favorite mayor. So I can get away with that in Baltimore for sure. So thank you for your service, for your support, and for your leadership. Everyone else I wanted to say has been recognized. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to recognize two more people. One has been recognized, but she is also one of my favorites, and that's Mary McLaughlin, who is now 4 weeks in this market. I've had a chance to work with Mary basically from the day that I arrived at Comcast. And I want to tell you, Mayor, and I want to tell everyone in Baltimore, Mary she is the regional senior vice president for this region, so she has responsibility for the state of Maryland, for Washington, D.C., for Northern Virginia, and for part of West Virginia. I just want to tell you, you have one of our best leaders in our company. You are very fortunate to have Mary McLaughlin. And Mary, I am very glad that you're now closer to Philadelphia so we can see more of each other. So welcome to Baltimore, and thank you very much. And last, I found somebody in this room who has not been introduced. But I want to acknowledge and recognize Karima Zidan, who is the head of this program. Karima, wave. And Karima has a number of members of her team here. but Karima is responsible for leading the Internet Essentials program all around the country, including right here in Baltimore. So we're here today to do a couple of things, and let me sort of cover them briefly. The first is what I'll call my normal announcements when I come to Baltimore at the beginning of a school year, which is to talk about the incredible success of the Internet Essentials program. So nationally, we've signed up 500,000 families, more than 2 million low-income Americans. We are truly beginning to close the digital divide with this very difficult population. As the mayor has said, we have not sat on our laurels with Internet Essentials. In the 4 years the program has existed, we've made more than 25 enhancements to the program, and this year we made several more enhancements. One is that we again increased the speed of the service, so it is now a 10 meg down service. There's some people here, including the mayor, remember when we launched the service, it was 1.5 meg down. We doubled it to 3, we increased it to 5. It's now a 10 meg down service. And remember, we've never changed the price of the program. So all we do is increase the speed. Second, and this really was in direct feedback from community partners, we are now providing free Wi-Fi, free in-home Wi-Fi as a part of the Internet Essentials service. So all new Internet Essentials customers will get a free Wi-Fi router in the home, and all existing Internet Essentials customers can get a free Wi-Fi router if they request one. And what this will enable our Internet Essentials families to do is to have multiple devices operating on the internet in the home at the same time. A laptop and a desktop, a laptop, a desktop, a tablet, a smartphone, all will be internet accessible within the home, and with 10 meg down service, there is enough capacity to be able to support that. By the way, Mary would shoot me if I didn't do this, so if anyone listening to this, and for our press here, if you could report this, it would be helpful. If you are an existing Internet Essentials customer in Baltimore, your service now is 10 meg down, but you have to reboot your router. You have to reboot your modem. So just unplug it, leave it unplugged for 30 seconds, plug it back in, and magically your speed will now be 10 meg down instead of 5 meg down. So if anyone tests their speed, they say, gee whiz, I'm not getting 10 meg down, the odds are you didn't reboot your modem. But if you do that, you will have 10 meg down service without our having to come to visit you at your house. The third enhancement we did, it really relates to the eligibility issues that we've talked about, and I just want to reinforce how important that message is. If you are a family and you have a child in a City of Baltimore public school or public charter school, you are now eligible to participate in this program if you meet all the other eligibility requirements, even if you are not eligible to participate in the National School Lunch Program. So as the superintendent said, as the mayor said, there are no excuses. This program is widely available in this city, and it is our goal that every family be able to take advantage of it and do so quickly. So the second set of announcements relates to this concept of an Internet Essentials Learning Zone. And it is all about partnership, as the mayor said. All the success we've had in this program has been the result of partnerships with nonprofit organizations, with school boards and school districts, with city governments. The Internet Essentials Learning Zone is the ultimate partnership opportunity. So with major partners being Comcast, the city and the mayor, the Family League of Baltimore, and 12 nonprofit organizations, we are partnering to attempt to create a continuum of connectivity in Baltimore, from the school and the classroom to the community and libraries and community-based computing centers, and then ultimately to the home through Internet Essentials itself. So there's a map there that shows the 16 facilities and sites in the city of Baltimore that Comcast is providing free public Wi-Fi for anyone who uses those facilities. And you can see, just a simple look at that map, we're covering every neighborhood in the city of Baltimore with this program. So we're deeply appreciative for all of the partnerships that will help to make this a reality. And as part of an expression of our gratitude for that partnership, Comcast is also providing $75,000 in grants to our nonprofit partners in order to help turbocharge their digital literacy training, digital relevance awareness, which is the #1 driver of broadband adoption in low-income communities. So that's the basic structure around Internet Essentials Learning Zones, and we want to track this and see what we're doing in terms of numbers of young people and families impacted by this digital literacy training, and we think those opportunities are going to make a big difference in terms of the digital divide here in the city of Baltimore. So everyone's been patient. Kids are getting less so. But I've got one more announcement for the kids, if I can. So as the mayor said, we've got a group of 35 kids here from the Creative City Charter School, and they've helped to celebrate this. So I'd like to ask all of the young people from Creative City Charter School to please rise. All the kids stand up. Stand up. This is a way I can make sure you're awake. Everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. As the mayor said, you've been patient, and as adults, I think we have a responsibility to reward your patience, to reward your attention, and reward your diligence. So we have a special gift for each of the 35 kids who are here today. And when you leave, you're going to be able to take with you your very own laptop and a card to provide you with 6 months of Internet Essentials service for free. So you see, we've So I'm tempted to say so much for the patience of our young people, but that's exactly the reaction that we wanted. We hope that you use these computers and the free Internet Essentials access to advance your education. Who was the young man who said they didn't have a chance to play on the computers before the event? So who said that? Who's the young man who said he couldn't play on the computers before this event? So you'll now be able to play on your own computer at home with internet service. So thanks very much, everyone.
1, 2, 3, Comcast! That's what I want. Thank you, everybody. Good job.